So that's how my spring break vacation turned into a globe-spanning showdown between me and a horse.
You could say the two of you were hoofing it.
Yay, you're learning.
What's the best vacation you've ever had, Norland? I told everyone about my Teas Through History's tea tasting trip through China and Thailand.
Well, I don't know about best, but have I ever told you about the time I almost died in Mexico?
Ooh, were you cursed by the ghost of an Aztec king? Oh, I'm so sorry.
I felt cursed. My cousin had been dating this girl for a while and he was finally getting around to marrying her. Her family was from Mexico, so they decided on a destination wedding. We booked a 7-day all-inclusive at a resort in Puerto Vallarta on the dark waters of the Pacific. The wedding was later in the week, so I was really excited to get my vacay on. Problem was, the airline lost my luggage. All I had was my carry-on. It sucked because I had practically nothing. It was worse because the only place I could buy things was the resort souvenir shop. It was worst because I was there for, a friggin' wedding. It was worsest because I was a groomsman. What was I gonna do, show up to the ceremony looking like Tom Selleck? Everything was overpriced like crazy. So I just ended up buying a t-shirt and shorts because I figured my luggage would be found soon. I was wrong.
Statistically, anytime we try to predict the future, we're wrong.
Ooh, can you predict what I'm thinking right now?
You want me to stop talking and listen to the story.
See? That prediction was right.
Oh.
I decided to go swimming and forget about my luggage. But as soon as I got into the water, a massive wave knocked my glasses off. I couldn't see anything. I scrambled to find them, and thank God, I felt them brush against my hand. I grabbed them, but before I could get out of the water, another giant wave smacked against me and my glasses flew out of my hands, lost forever in the dark water of the Mexican Sea. It was the worst. We went to dinner after to this buffet, but I couldn't see anything. My friend had to go over and get my food for me. I got lucky actually. After I told everyone that I'd lost my glasses, a woman at the table offered an extra pair of contact lenses that I could use. They weren't exactly my prescription, but they did the trick. I wasn't blind anymore.
What happened next?
Well, I got lucky again. My luggage came the next day, so I didn't even need the contacts anymore. My vacation wasn't a bust after all.
What a crazy story, Norland. Well, out of coffee. Better get...
What? Losing your glasses was a near-death experience? Clickbait.
Just wait, there's more. So the next day, now that I had my clothes and glasses, we decided to go out on an ATV excursion. It was awesome. We were flying along these sandy hills, but eventually we got to this section next to a sheer cliff, like lose your lunch looking over the side. I took it slow because it was really dangerous, but as I was coming to this sharp turn, my glove caught in my throttle. I was racing toward the edge. I tried to yank my glove out, but it just made me go faster. With one hand, I tried to steer myself away from the edge, and with the other, I desperately tugged at my glove. The cliff zoomed toward me, closer, until at the very last second, I tore my glove from the throttle and whipped my ATV to the side, Akira style, just barely keeping myself from tumbling over the edge.
There weren't any guardrails?
No, it was crazy dangerous. I don't know why I let myself get talked into it. Thank God the wedding was the next day and everything went smoothly. I was just excited for a smooth end to a rocky vacation.
That's nice. I'm glad nothing else went wrong.
Well,
You're kidding.
I woke up the next day feeling good, but by midday, my palms were sweaty, my knees weak, my arms were heavy.
Was there vomit on your sweater already?
No. Why would you ask me that?
Spaghetti.
I went back to my room to rest in bed. I wrapped myself up in like 100 blankets. Even though it was 35 degrees out, I was freezing. I was so cold, so alone. I ordered food, but I could barely keep it down. My fever was rising, and I couldn't even sit up. I took some meds, but they barely did anything. Eventually, I passed out. I woke up the next morning feeling like death. The worst part is I had to fly back that day too. My friends helped me get my bags to the lobby of the resort, but I could barely walk. I was so dizzy. I remember thinking, there's no way I can make it on that flight, but the fear that I would be left alone and sick in another country was terrifying. So I blasted myself with some more medication and tried to make it through. I remember handing a woman my ticket, and then the next thing I know, I woke up inside one of the bathrooms. Someone was banging on the door, and when I opened it, I watched as an invisible tide of butt stench washed through the plane. People gave me the aisle seats after that. When I finally got home, I stumbled in through the door at 3 a.m. and my mom was waiting for me. She looked me up and down and said, "You look terrible," before she took me to bed, and I finally finished my worst vacation ever.
Wow, that blows my worst vacation out of the water easily.
Norland, you were cursed.
Right? I really felt like I was.
No, I'm serious. You literally got Montezuma's revenge. Years ago, after Spanish conquistador Hernan Cortez destroyed his kingdom, Montezuma laid a curse on all gringos traveling to Mexico. But really, it's just diarrhea.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Imagine if someone made a video about this.
Maybe you're still cursed.
That's scientifically impossible. Curses aren't real.
I bet he's got a gut feeling that curses are diarrheal. Write that down.
Hey everyone, this story is really based on something one of our team members went through. Want us to animate your story? We're already working on one of the comments from the previous video. Leave a comment below about the worst vacation you had, and we might feature a story being told to our friends on the hill based on your comment. Terms and conditions apply.